Good morning. Okay, I only have 5 people watching, which is not good. Alright, now we have 10. Alright, so, okay, first of all, I want to make a couple announcement. Okay, let me get our screen off here. I don't know. Okay. Alright, let's just talk about how you guys doing. How you guys doing? Hi, Sarah. Hi, Taylor, Nancy. I hope everyone have a great spring break. Actually, my spring break is okay. I'm enjoying stay at home and doing nothing. Mm. Okay, and Andrew, my dog, just pooped in the house and have to clean all those up. I don't know how to stop him pooping in the house while I'm doing stuff. Like this morning, I literally take him out for maybe half an hour, just walk him around. He just refused to poop. And then once we get inside, I start my morning session and he start to poop everywhere. Hi, Kaylin. Oh, I have a quick question. Anybody see Hannah recently? Yeah, I'm looking for Hannah. So like let her email me, okay? Please, if you see Hannah. All right. Okay, so this week, I originally planned to meet Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. I apologize. Yesterday I have something, so I cannot meet yesterday. But I just find out tomorrow you guys might want to go to school to pick up your stuff. Some of you. So I will talk about that in a little bit. So by the end of the session, I will ask you guys if you wanna meet it tomorrow or move it to Friday. Okay. So let's put the screen to my display. Okay, so I have a couple announcements. So the first one is I got an email from principal and saying saying all the AP students can pick up their stuff from school for senior is tomorrow, April 1st, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. And for juniors, I know we have several juniors in our class as well. It's Monday, April 6th, from 11 a.m. to 12 p.m. Okay. According to the college board, our AP exam will be still like they were still holding the AP exam. Instead of like going to school take it, they might change it to online version. And tomorrow, in tomorrow's session or Thursday session, I will give you more detail about that. I will show you college board and website, and I will give you several resources to review. And they did cut some content off, but to be honest, not much content, and those content probably we won't have time to cover anyway. So our schedule still very tight. We still need to like work together, be here every day, and so I can get you all the information. And second one, this week we'll meet on Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday from 11 to 11:50 a.m. Wednesday, again, once we have more students join, we will ask you guys what do you think about tomorrow. Do you want to go to school, pick up your stuff? Because the picking up time and my class time is on the top of each other. So if you guys want to go to school, just pick up some stuff. You probably like we probably will cancel the session tomorrow and move it to Friday. Hi guys. And another thing is I have a 8.1 quiz. Since it's not a like a really quiz, I'm watching you taking it. So I gave you more time to complete it. So the quiz is due this Friday by 11:59 p.m. and it's an online Google form. If you click over here and you will fill in your name and which class, and you will answer the question. Those questions we already went over last time we meet, which is last Friday, I believe. I don't remember. So if you want to go back to the note, you can go back to the note and look at them before you take it. And I trust yourself. I trust you. I hope you can treat it as a closed book quiz, so you can know how you do. Okay, if you did the first time, you feel like you didn't not do very well, you can do it again and just like put your name and say trial 2. That's fine. Okay, you can like retake it yourself. Actually, I saw that when you did the quiz, I didn't put the name part on there yet. I saw that, but I know that's you, so you're good. You're good. Okay. The next one is for the calculator. So for the lesson today, this week, we will use calculator. If you do not have one, I have a resource for you. It's called YBateMu. I don't know. Just search this on your app store, and this is a free calculator. It functions exactly like TI-83. So if you have an Android phone, please download this software and you can use this as your calculator. I have a couple students from last year, they did it. It's worked pretty well for him. But unfortunately, if you have an iPhone, you cannot use that. Okay, so, all right, so this is for the calculator part. All right, so that's all my announcement. Do you have any question? All right, if you don't have any question, let's just go ahead. All right, before I started, I think we have enough people to have a poll right now. So let me get my face back. All right, guys. Okay, so just type in what you want to say to me. Okay, so do you think you might want to go to school, pick up your stuff tomorrow? Please comment on there. Or you think we will have a session tomorrow is fine. Okay. Okay, how about this? Tomorrow, Wednesday, we just cancel our session, and I will ask school if they want to volunteer for like watching you guys. I probably will see you at school, but probably they won't let me go. So tomorrow, session is canceled, and we will meet Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. Is that okay? If it's that okay, please comment yes. All right, sounds good. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Okay, so we're gonna meet Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday at 11 a.m. Okay, and also as you all heard, the school close is extended to May 1st so far. So and that is the week before you graduate, so I'm not really sure if I'm able to see you guys in person anymore, but I will post everything on Google Classroom. I will make my announcement in the live streaming. If after May 1st there is a chance that we can like still meet and like maybe sit down, we will have a party. Okay, and other than that, I think the school will just cancel letter grade and do a passing and fail grade. As long as you are here with me every day and you did the quizzes or the assignment I told you to do every week, which will now be allowed, there's no problem. I will give you a P. Okay. All right. Okay, so answer your question, Bailey. I'm using the AP Stats book, and we're on Unit 8, but it's not quite lined up with the College Board units. So if it's College Board units, we just started Unit 7. So like, which means for the College Board, we have 2 units to go. For the book, we have, including this unit, we have 3 units to go. So we have about like 2 and a little bit left. Okay. All right. So I will get the screen back. Okay. So today we're gonna start 8.2. So 8.2, we were talking about estimating a population proportion, which means this time, besides we talk about and interpret the confidence interval, this time we're actually gonna give you a formula to find the confidence interval. Oh, I'm sorry, Bailey. We're on. Okay, let me look at board. Yeah, I checked the College Board yesterday, and like, no matter what they say, we have 2 things need to cover before the test. We need to do the testing and stuff. All right, I will get you back for more information for the AP test tomorrow. But right now, like, according to my plan, we have to finish the book units 8, 9, and 10. Then we are all covered. So and we're gonna just get rid of 11 and 12 since the College Board saying we are not testing the linear model and we are not testing the chi-square. Blessing, no, we are not. We did not cover everything yet. As what I said to Bailey, we have 2 units in the book still need to cover, which is equivalent to like maybe 1.5 unit in the College Board. So not yet, but I'm positive we can get it done before you guys actually need to take it. All right. So again, like what I said, 8.2, we're gonna really calculate the confidence interval. So for the confidence interval for proportion, we said if the sampling distribution of proportion pass the, what they gonna pass to show its approximate normal. Do you remember what condition you have to met for a proportional distribution? Do you guys still remember the 10% condition, the large number condition? All right, it's okay if you don't remember, that's okay. We were gonna review it, but basically, so what we talked about before, if you are doing looking at the sampling distribution of proportion, the condition we use to show it is approximately normal is a large count condition, which you're gonna look at n times p is greater or equal to 0, and np and times 1 minus p is greater or equal to 10. It's equal to 10. Okay, let me comment on there so you can see it. Okay, what I'm doing. Okay, my keyboard is not working. 10, 1. Okay. All right. if it's approximately normal, we talk about the point estimate will be over here, and then on the left and on the right is your margin of zero. Arrow will be over here. Let me see. Okay, will be over here and over here, and this length is your margin of error. Okay, when we talk about the normal distribution, we use the standard deviation to measure how long each side is. So this is the standard deviation. So over here, I just want to give you a basic idea of what is confidence interval. It's a point estimate plus or minus the margin of error. Point estimate plus margin of error and minus margin of error. Point estimate, we talk about in 8.1 is your statistic. So over here is your value of p hat, is your statistic plus or minus how many, which is critical value according to what we talk about in 8.1 is a number, how many of the standard deviation of the statistic. We use the standard deviation because this is a normal distribution, and we are talking about how many standard deviation is in your critical value. So for example, if you have let me get my screen back. Okay, so if you want to see the your confidence level is 90%, you want to see the inside is 90%, okay? And for the confidence interval, it's over here. So basically what we are trying to figure out is the number over here and the number over here. Okay, in the middle is your point estimate. Okay, on each side is margin of error, margin of error, and margin of error. We will talk about more what's going on later, and so this is basically the idea of what is a confidence interval. You have a point estimate to the left and to the right. You have two margin of error, and the area in the middle is your confidence level, which is your 90% or 95%, what we talk like whatever confidence level you want to use. Okay, so I cannot use the screen and the camera at the same time. All right, so here's the formula for population proportion. So your point estimate is P. Guys, can you please pull up your the PowerPoint by yourself so I can show you my board? So please pull up your PowerPoint by yourself, and we're looking at page 4, okay? All right, so the formula over here is the point estimate P, and plus or minus, this is our statistic, okay? Plus or minus Z is a number, we call it critical value. And in a little bit, we're gonna show you how to find critical value, but right now you do not need to know yet. And this one is your standard deviation. So basically over here we are saying The statistic, the confidence interval is the statistic plus or minus a critical value times your standard deviation, which is your margin of error. Okay, so standard deviation is also margin of error. So over here, the whole thing over here is called margin of error. Okay. All right. So this formula is not in the formula sheet. However, it is like the one have point estimate plus or plus minus margin of error is on the formula sheet. So you just need to know this is your point estimate, is your statistic, and your critical value over here for one sample population proportion will use Z. Okay, and then times the standard deviation. This is a standard deviation. Okay, this standard deviation formula is from chapter 7 when we talk about sampling distribution of proportion, what is the mean, what is the standard deviation. This is the standard deviation formula. Okay. All right, and then we're gonna talk about in what situation we can use this formula. First of all, we want to look at the first part, P, and what I'm talking about right now is on page 5. Okay, page 5 of the PowerPoint. So first of all, we're gonna talk about the P. The P is the point estimate. If we want to use the point estimate, we have to know it is a random condition. We need to know what is random condition. What does that mean? So usually in the question, they will tell you we're going to take a SRS of blah, blah, blah. Or they say we're going to take a random sample of blah, blah, blah. If you see those words, you can assume it is a random condition. Or you will say we're going to randomly select how many from a population. Though if you saw those words, you can say, okay, this is a random condition. We are randomly selecting our data. Okay, so this is for the first part. So the first condition you're gonna check is the random condition. Okay, and second one, if we want to use the Z, this Z, even though I talk about it's a critical value, you do not need to know right now, and we will go back to it in a little bit. But can you make some connections with this Z and what we talked about before? When we use Z, when we talk about the normal distribution and we talk about the Z-score, right? So if you look at the Z, whenever we want to use the Z, we have to assume this is an approximately normal distribution. So if we want to assume this is approximately normal distribution, we're gonna confirm the large count condition. So for the Z, we're gonna confirm the large count condition. Large count condition, which is saying NP is greater or equal to 10, N1 minus P is also greater or equal to 10. Okay, so this is the second condition we want to confirm. It's a large count condition for the value Z. Okay, and the last one we want to talk about is the standard deviation. Do you guys remember when we want to calculate the standard deviation, what do you need to do? All right, I was just gonna answer the question myself. When we talk about the standard deviation, we're gonna confirm the 10% condition in order to confirm all the each individual observation is independent. So over here, number 3, you're gonna consider 10% condition. which means the sample you pick need to be less than 10% of the population. Okay, so this part we are talking about, okay, we need to make sure that each individual is independent, so we can use the formula to calculate the standard deviation. Okay, so over here, we gave a name for z. Z is the critical value, and over here is your standard deviation. And we also have a word for standard deviation over here. It's called standard error. Okay, so if you want to look at your page 6 on your PowerPoint, the definition of standard error is when the standard deviation of a statistic is estimated from the data, the result is called the standard error. So the standard deviation over here, we are talking about the standard deviation is the standard error. Okay, so let me give you a quick summary of what we just talked about for the condition of confidence interval. Okay, so in order to construct a confidence interval about the population, we need to see if this formula, if all the condition has been met for this formula. The conditions include, we need to see if it's random. The data come from a random sample from population of interest. The keyword will be SRS, random sample, randomly selected, and also we need to test for 10% condition, which we need to confirm the sampling without replacement. Each of the individual is independent, so we will need to see n is less than 10% of the population. Why we're using that? Because we want to use the formula for population sampling distribution to get our standard deviation. So we need to verify the 10% condition. And then next one, we're gonna verify the large count condition. Both NP and N1 minus P have to be at least 10, which is means the distribution of P will be approximately normal. Okay, so we can get the Z from that. All right, so so far, you know the formula of confidence interval. You do not need to. You do not know how to use that yet, but you know how to verify the condition. Okay. All right. I've been talking for a while, so let's look at one example. So we are on page 8, and please read the example number 1, and I will put my board back, and we're gonna talk it on the board. So we are on example number 1 on page 8. All right, anybody need the board? Please take a picture. I will take it out. Well, do I need to take it out? Probably not. All right, guys, please actually try it, okay? Let me put it on the screen. Okay. All right, please try example number 1. Give you about 3-4 minutes. Shall we look at it, or do you need more time? All right, guys, feel free to comment, okay? All right, according to what we learned earlier, so if we want to see if they are made, the conditions are made, we need to check for three things. We need to check for random, and we need to check for 10% condition. We need to check for large count condition. Okay. So random, how do we know it is each independent is randomly selected? Is a question tell you? Okay, this is question actually from 8.1. Like it is randomly selected. Okay, they didn't put it here. Let me add it on here. Assume all the beads are randomly. Okay, so this just assume this sentence is in the question. Okay, in the question they have to give you this sentence. Okay, all the beads all right, and 10% condition. How do we get the 10% condition? What is less than 10% of what? So what is the sample size? Okay, awesome. N equals to 251 is less than 10% of, you do not need to like really write it like this. You can use math symbol, okay? Because I just like type English is easier for me, so I write like this. N equals to 251 is less than 10% of 3,000 is 300. Okay, this is 10% condition. Okay, what Riley right there and Taylor are exactly right. Okay, all right. So large count condition. How do I confirm large count condition? So large count condition is saying NP is greater or equals to 10. So what is your P? Okay, what is? What is your P? P is a true proportion of red beans. So it will be 107 over 251. Awesome. Which is, I will just use a decimal is 0.4263. Okay, so over here we're gonna find N times P equals to 251 times 0 point. Okay, which is equals to, all right, just use your calculator to get that. You have 107, which is greater or equal to 10. Okay, and then you're gonna find 1 minus, hold on, 1 minus, and this number is, oh my god. Okay, so this is how you confirm the large count condition. You calculate n times p, and you calculate n times 1 minus p. Okay, and make sure both of them are greater or equal to 10, and you got it. Okay, so random, check. 10%, check. Large count condition, check. So all the conditions for constructing a confidence interval for P are met. All right, so this is how you look for condition. Are you okay with that? Okay, all right, so this note I will share with you. I will put on Google Classroom after we're done with today's lesson. Okay, so you know what? Let me do it right now. Note, share. Okay, let me post it right now. Yes, that's all the questions are asking. If they only ask you to confirm all the conditions are met, this is all you need to do. Note. Okay, I will gonna do it right now so you guys can look at it. All right, it's on Google Classroom, posted. Okay, let's keep going. So right now we know the formula. We know how to test for condition when whichever situation we can use the formula. Now we need to actually know how to plug in a number into the formula to get the confidence interval. So far we know what is the P. So in the last question, it's a proportion of red beans, that's the P. We know how to find the P, what is the N. The only part we don't know is how to find the Z star, Z with a star on the top. Okay, how to find the Z star? So I will show, like, it's over here. So I will gonna get the screen off, and we will use this picture to show you. Okay, all right, so if they gave you the confidence level is 90% and they trying to figure out what is the Z, all right, so the example I have on PowerPoint, which is page 10, is 95%. So I gonna just go ahead and change it to 95%. So you want to basically what we are want to figure out right now is my screen froze. All right, 1 second. All right. Okay. So basically, right now, what we are trying to find is the 2 question mark I have over here. Okay. So these 2 question mark represent the z-score, z star. Okay. I'm just gonna erase this. Okay. So the left one, we said this is negative z star, and this is z. So let's recall how we find our, if we know the area 95, how we find the 2 value. So if we know the middle part is 95, can you tell me what is the area for these 2 parts? So in the middle is 95, and everything under the density curve is 1. So each side is, what is the area? Will be 2.5%. Awesome. Will be 2.5%. Okay. 2.5%, which is 0.025. Okay. So over here, if for this number negative z star, your area is 0.025%. So how are we gonna use the z table to find the value over here? Okay, I'm gonna pull up my z table right now. The z table, I'll attach one on your Google Classroom. What? All right. Okay. What is going on here? Give me 1 second. Let me refresh that. Okay. So we want to find 0.025 inside the table and find the corresponding z-score. So let's do it. Inside the table, we want to find 0.025. Okay, so over here I have 28. Okay, 22. And I want to go bigger, so do you see this one? Okay, I cannot really highlight it. Can you see this one? 0.025. Okay, so this is our number. Oh, I can highlight it now. Okay, so the 0.025, we're gonna read the z-score, which is negative 1.96. So 1.96 is actually the z-star we want to get. Okay, so look at the PowerPoint. I have everything I talked about over here. In the middle is 0.95, 95%. So each side is 0.025. In the z table, you find 0.025 inside the table, and then you read the z-score, which is 1.96. So 1.96 is your z-star that you want to plug in for your formula. Okay, does that make sense? All right, no matter it does or does not, let's look at the question. And I truly believe after the question, you will understand. Okay, all right, let's pull my... All right, example number 2. All right, so the first question, they ask you to determine the critical value z star for 90% confidence interval. Special characters? No. I'm trying to remember how Fred teach me how to draw picture on there. I can't remember that. All right, I will just gonna make my board go back, okay? So we're on PowerPoint page 11. We're doing example 2. Okay. All right, we're just gonna do this question on the board. Okay, so first one, they said determine the critical value Z star for a 90% confidence interval for propulsion. So over here, inside is 90%. So for outside each area is how much is what you want to think about. And what area you want to find in your Z table. So each side is how many percent? All right, you got it? Each side will be how many percent? Will be 5%. Okay, so each side is 5%, then your answer will be 0.05. Okay, and we're gonna find this 0.05 on the Z table. All right, let's find the Z table. Here we go. 0.05. Okay, let's find. I find two numbers. It's kind of in between of these two numbers. Okay, so if you have two numbers, you can use either of them, but do not like take average of this two Z-score. Okay, use either of them will be fine. So you have negative 1.64 or negative 1.65. Okay, you can use either of them. Okay, so Z-score is negative 1.64 or 1.65. Okay, so is everybody okay so far? Yes, no, maybe. So on the note, I will say look for 0.05 in Z table, 1.64 for critical value. All right, okay. All right, so this is a critical value. Number B is saying construct a number 90% confidence interval for the proportion of all American adults who have read a book in the previous 12 months. So over here, we are trying to find the confidence interval. Okay, so confidence interval formula, let me write it here. This is confidence intervals formula. Okay, we know Z star is 1.64 or 1.65. No matter which number you use, it doesn't matter. You will get a very similar result, okay? All right, so let's plug in the formula. So we know over here is 1.64. Okay, for sure. And what is my P? What is my statistic? What is my estimate value of P? So can you help me find P? So what is the percentage? What is the proportion? Oh, my neck hurt. And after you get P, what is N? Again, we're on 11, page 11, example 2. Okay, P is 73%. Okay, I have Brianna answered my question. Thank you. Okay, because they said 73% of the American adults have read a book in the previous 12 months, according to the report. Okay, all right, 73% is right. And what is the sample size? How many American adults has been selected in that report? 1520. Okay, N is 1520. All right, awesome. So we have that information and we just need to plug it in. So over here you have 73%. Okay, and inside you have 0.73 times 1 minus 0.73 divided by 1520. Okay, my suggestion is you're gonna put the whole thing inside the calculator, okay, instead of just part to part. So I will show you how to put in mine. If I can find my calculator, 1 second. Okay, I can't believe oh, here we go. All right, so I will do the upper bound and lower bound separately. So I will type in 0.73 minus 1, okay, 0. You know what? Let me use decimals to show you how to put it in, and you use your calculator, okay? Okay, let me get rid of that. Okay, this is for my another class. Okay, I will put the lower bound in first. So 0.73 minus 1.64 times square root of 0.73 times divided by okay. Wait, this is fine, okay, but I will just okay. All right, when you type in the whole thing in the decimal or in your calculator, you will see the lower bound is 0.711132. Okay, and then the upper bound you will get, and you just change it to plus, you will get 0.47486. Okay, let me put it in the note. All right, so the lower bound is 0.7113, upper bound is 0.4 8, 6, 7. All right, is this okay? Okay, we're gonna finish the C and I will let you guys know. I know we go a little bit over time. I'm sorry about that, okay? All right, so this is the confidence interval. What you need to do is you just need to find the critical value, find your point estimate P, and find your sample size and plug in the formula. And use the plus minus sign to get your lower bound, use the minus, and the upper bound use plus. And put in the calculator, you will get the confidence interval back. Okay. And part C, they ask you to interpret the confidence interval. Do you remember how to interpret? Okay, if you do not remember, you need to go back to review. But when we interpret the confidence interval, we always say we are how many percent confidence that from whatever to whatever capture our population, okay, our true value. So here we will say we are how many percent, 90% confident that, oops, hold on, okay, that the interval from 0.7113 to 0. Over here is 7. I'm sorry. Let's check the decimal real quick. Yep. 7.7867 captures the population proportion P, which is the true proportion of American adults have read a book in the previous 12 months. Oh, not yes. Okay, so this is how you interpret. Okay, we are 90% confidence that the interval from 0.7113 to 0.7867 captures the population proportion P equals to the true proportion of American adults who have read a book in the previous 12 months. Or if you don't want to write like this long, you can do capture the true proportion. Just get rid of that, okay? Capture the true proportion of American adults who have read a book in the previous 12 months. That's perfectly fine. Okay, all right, so let's stop here today. So just quick review of what we learned today. Today we learned the confidence interval is the point estimate plus or minus the margin of error. How to get the margin of error? We use the critical value times the standard deviation. Therefore, for the one size z interval for population proportion confidence interval, we have this formula. Point estimate P plus or minus z star times the standard deviation. And in order to use this formula, we need to check for condition. Okay, the condition we have to check for random, 10%, and large count condition. If the question tell you, like the most recent question we did, if the question tell you assume the condition for the inference are met, you do not need to do the explain the condition. If not, you have to explain the condition. And then we learn how to calculate the z star, and then we learn how to use the z star to find the confidence interval. Okay, all right, so this is all for today. Let me pull myself up if it's possible, and I want to say goodbye to you. All right, so this is everything I have for you today, and tomorrow at the beginning of the class, No, tomorrow we don't have class. Oh my god, I almost forgot. Tomorrow we don't have class, and I will check with the principal, see if we can, I can go to the school, see you guys. Most likely he will say no, but we will see. Okay, if I can see you tomorrow, I will see you at school maybe some point tomorrow. If not, I will see you Thursday online. And at the beginning of Thursday, we're gonna talk about a little bit of AP test, what is included, what is not included, and the master plan of the rest of the semester. And Thursday, hopefully, we can finish up the 8.2, and we will meet again on Friday. So if you don't have any question, I will see you tomorrow or Thursday. And please take care of yourself. If you have any concerns, send me an email. And I am trying to set up a Google number as soon as possible, so you guys can call me if you want to talk or anything. Just let me know, and we miss you. And I hope you have a great day. See you Thursday. Bye bye. Bye bye.